So, like,
I thought it was a dumb game and that I was smart by thinking it was dumb. Excuse me.
so, like, can we just get, like, the Pat riding the bike, and then with his Shiva arms, he puts, like, 8 pegs into the spokes at the same time?
And then it's Halo sucks, I don't get it, when I'm on the floor. Oh, that is, can I beat Halo before McDonald's kicks me out, isn't it?
You know, if your neck didn't break on the way down. Just...
Oh my god, somebody in the chat said Halo's just Madden with guns. I thought that's what it was. I thought it was the Dude Bro shooter for Dude Bros. Turns out that was actually Call of Duty.
Okay, now, can I beat Halo before McDonald's closes is real, because that I haven't heard that before, but I remember when Ocarina of Time was at the McDonald's near my place as a kid, and they had a play place with some kiosks, and they had a setup there, and I remember
if you want to take it for a spin,
it was the small window of time when my fucking money got stolen, so I didn't get to buy mine right away, and then going home, and they had it set up there, and like people were just fucking playing it, and it was just like, hey, do you want to start in the middle of Jabu Jabu's belly? And
yeah,
you know, well, I'd rather not personally, you know, but yeah, I mean that was a thing, and people would just line up and go for it because they didn't give a fuck. Who's gonna go finish the game if you want? Who gives a shit? You know? It's McDonald's. That's an incredibly self-sabotaging history. Did you ever even look at one at all? Or did it just completely evade the radar entirely?
I watched the original first 2 seasons. I watched the first couple seasons of Red vs.
Oh yeah, so you finished. Yeah, you're done. You're good. No, you're covered.
And then when they switched to making it with the Halo 2 engine, I went, I don't like how Caboose looks now, and stopped watching.
Yeah, no, you're good. If you watched Red vs. Blue, Season 1, then, like, yeah, you played Halo 1. You're good.
Call it a rule or a habit.
Just checking.
But
all right,
most
cool,
mules
cool.
almost always bring stolen shipments home with them.
I know Sidewinders, the ice map, because that's where Tex went to get the thing in that episode.
If this goes sideways, be ready to fight.
Anyway, Keith David continues to be the best part of every project he's associated with.
Yeah, that's not fair. Every time he's shown up, I go, like, he's the best.
It's actually kind of impressive that the guy in Killer Instinct is apparently not Keith David, but he just does a fucking 10-on-10 job impersonating him. Wild.
Which guy?
So let me take a look here. But the Arbiter in KI, someone told me that.
That's really?
Apparently,
that's crazy.
Apparently, it's not him. So
that's
yeah. So that's really cool. But yes, anyway, so I was fucking enjoying the shit out of that, and yeah, he spawned as well.
So Halo's good.
Remember, Sam.
Halo's good. Halo 2
we recommend
excellent.
you use a watchtower to confirm the location
you
of the post
want to
box
hear the pinnacle, the absolute pinnacle of how fucking like horrible I ruined this shit for myself was getting. I'm sure I don't think you fought the Flood yet, but I'm getting
in one. I did.
And I'm fighting the Flood, which I think is like. Oh, you did? Okay. So I'm halfway through the game. I think it was anyway, and I'm fighting Big Flood Monster, and I go and like I'm at the point where I'm looking around like an insane person, and going, when the fuck are they gonna explain to me what a Halo is? Why is this shit called Halo? I don't get it.
Did at any point, I'm trying to remember because yeah, no, it was only in the terminals. In the terminals, you see a bit of that, but yeah, well, there you go.
And then by the time I got to 3, some like Guilty Spark just literally sits you down.
Okay, well, you can stop there. You can actually stop there. I'm enjoying this.
Like, no. It's just like Halo 3 is clearly has someone there on the team that was like, dumbasses don't know what the story is.
Which makes sense because this is a flagship franchise with Super Bowl commercials.
And there's like a real concerted effort in 3 to go like, that's what a Halo.
Yeah, I feel as if there's a very clear. I'm playing this whole series in mind. Like, again, you don't need to elaborate, but I'm playing this whole series in mind, knowing that it's continuing to be Microsoft's major, like it's their Mario, right? It's Sega Sonic. It is the flagship. So I'm expecting that as each game gets bigger and crazier and larger, there's going to be a very clear, like, listen, man, about 70% of the people buying this time did not touch any previous games. They just want something exciting to play on their Xbox. So we're probably going to need to have it be explained somewhat because they're not standalone, you know?
Like, I think probably I'm thinking back, it's like, is Halo 3 my favorite because there's a moment where somebody looks at the camera and goes, this is what the Covenant
Maybe.
because I had gotten all the way to 2007 thinking they were like generic space aliens.
Yeah. Maybe. At the same time, anyone who's coming into the third game of a franchise going like, oh, yo, you guys are all talking about this thing? Okay, yeah, let's check it out. And the whole marketing campaign is finish the fight. And if it never occurs to you that I didn't start it, so I might not fully know what's going on right now, then yeah, you kind of deserve what you get, man. You know? We laugh at and mock mercilessly those who enter into any franchise mid to late way just on a hype train and then get frustrated as they're confused. One of my favorite tweets we just talked about was the guy streaming DMC5. Dante starts dancing and he just fucking taps out. I love that. It's the best shit ever because you are a fool. You are a fool for going about things the way you did.
Well,
so
I feel like, yes, I was a fool, but I was dramatically failed by everyone within 20 miles of me because I literally never the only person I ever knew that mentioned anything about Halo's story said, oh, the story in the games is whatever, you gotta read all the books. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. And everyone else didn't know what the story was.
No, you're
because they literally just played multiplayer.
You're explaining the reasons why you fucked up, and trust me, that's my thing. I get it. I get it. I totally understand how and why this fuck up came to be.
Do you remember right before the week before Mass Effect 3 came out, and it was having like even bigger like the end of a saga. It was not
bigger than Halo. It was not bigger than Halo.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the energy of like the finale of a trilogy, like specifically this will be the last Mass Effect stuff. And every interview that came out for that week period was, oh yeah, you totally start on this one. Yeah, you don't need those other two at all. From like every developer they talked to. And the reaction was, what? But
did they say that?
Oh yeah. I remember laughing my ass off. They're like, oh, we think Mass Effect 3 is the perfect place to start the series. It's never been a time to start playing Mass Effect.
Disingenuous marketing. That sucks. Because you're lying to people to get them to buy the game and then eventually get frustrated when they don't understand.
And like the people who were interested in the game got these big red flags. Like, wait a second, if the first 2 games don't matter, the whole point is that the choices would carry forward through multiple games.
That's awful.
Remember
Yeah,
that?
of course.
It's like, but if they don't matter, don't they not matter?
Like, did they give it some sort of asterisk where they're like, well, because you can read the codex?
No.
Because the codex will tell you, well, then fucking, yeah. That's just lies. That's just big lies.
It was
Drop sites
crazy.
are rarely deserted, so remain
Mass Effect
undetected
is extra crazy because
Keep a low
like
profile
the
and move slowly
start
to
of Mass
minimize
Effect
noise.
3 is invasion on Earth from the Reapers, and the new player will go, "What are those? Like, what is that?" And the whole game is about that.
Okay.
Oh man. Oh, I hate people I knew back in 2003 and 4 and 5.
I'm glad that I have the ability to, put myself in like last decade mode. I can run compatibility on my brain when I play old games to be like, yeah, okay, I see what was happening at the time. I've been like,
I guess I didn't have that back in the day, or the problem was that I decided to get in the middle instead of... Because every big franchise that I do now, I either go back from the start, no matter how old it is, or I already was there.
I'm trying to think of like franchise where I jumped in the middle, and
Street Fighter 2, right there.
where I'm like, I know that like whenever it's something that it's like, especially like, unless like I feel uncomfortable doing it unless I kind of get the okay that it's like, no, this is all right, this is standalone, right? In the sense that when it comes to like Doom 2016, for example, when it comes to Persona is a big one. Where I was like, okay, the friends that I spoke to about this are all like, you'll be okay. This is a standalone. You'll be fine to
Might as well
to go
be a
here.
completely different
Yeah.
franchise when you jump into
Yeah, Nier, I definitely like. I felt like, this is. I don't want to. I can't. I don't want to just start this. And I went back and watched the entire game. I watched the entirety of Gestalt. So like that was one of those cases where just like I would feel like I'm like, but what if though? I don't want to be in that situation. And then it turns out like, yeah, that was correct. There's a bunch of cases where I do end up jumping in the middle, but like I usually feel like I want to check with friends to make sure that they're like, do you think this is okay or what?
You know what is actually a decent one that I would actually say you can jump into with like a 2-hour YouTube session prior is Witcher. You could totally go and watch like a video breakdown of the basic outline of events for the first 2 games, and you'd be pretty
I mean, that's the thing is like Nier kind of was the proof of like concept in a way, because like watched the entirety of Gestalt and then watched the full breakdowns of all the Drakengards. Like I made sure to do as much homework as I could within the time frame before going into Automata, and it paid off. Even in the small bits, it paid off.
There's a lot of stuff that pays off with the Witcher series, but the problem is that the Witcher 3 is the first one that's like a real video game for human beings. And Witcher 2 is like a fucked up Polish game, and Witcher 1 is like a fucked up Polish game made by space aliens for space aliens. I love Witcher 1, but Witcher 1 is a fucked up game made for crazy people.
Well, I was going to say that every once in a while there's a franchise where people that are into the franchise actively discourage you from catching up. Like, no one will tell you to go play Zone of the Enders 1. No one.
Alright, come and get
It's Zone of the Enders 1 is wild because there is literally nothing in that game of value other than like the basic story events compared to the second one. And the intro of the second one just sums it up in like a 45-second cutscene when you meet.
As does the button on the main menu that goes like, here's what happened in Zoe 1, you know?
And it's like a minute.
So
it's like nothing.
yeah. And the length of it as well. But it's also so short that you might as well just do it. In a way.
There are 3 enemies in Zone of the Enders.
Yeah. So that's it. Like it's so incredibly digestible in such a short period of time that it's almost like you might as well. But yeah, you know, that's a bit of a weird one. That's a bit of a weird one. Like the franchises where they're like, no, stay away from the first game, please.
It'll fuck up. DMC2 is a good example. Hey, I'm gonna play through the Devil May Cry series. Okay, here's the order: 1, 3, 4, 5, done. Wait, what about 2? What are you talking about? Are you
watch the live action commercial for 2?
And you're done. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
So yeah, that was me.
Okay. I should give Halo another shot. I feel very stupid. That's probably the worst I've ever done to myself in terms of like a medium.
I mean, considering the scope that the franchise went to, yeah, probably.
Especially considering I then went on and later played the shittier follow-up series by the same company.
And keep in mind, like, I'm not touching multiplayer at all. I'm just doing the campaigns.
Oh, by the way, so one of the confusions that I'm seeing from folks is that how is Halo 3 your favorite if you played like half of it on like a TV inside a GameStop? And that's because I actually played the shit out of the multiplayer and became that person that was like, I don't get what the story is of Halo, whatever, but this fucking Mongoose custom map with rocket launchers is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, the multiplayer pretty much allows you to just judge it mechanically for what it is. Yeah. So, and I know that 3 months.
And then Call of Duty 4 came out and was like, wait, why do you care about Halo when this hotness is around?
Well, I like
and forgot about this.
I like big dumb alien guns.
Keep on keeping on.
Let's see. What I do this week? I did.
To be fair, I've never really given real guns a chance. Well, there's your clip.
What? Okay, wait. You mean like real video games?
Yes, real video game guns. Like, for the most part, I watched my brother play some, and I had to test a few, but I never really went down that.
Real video game guns, they don't have the flash of a big sci-fi, plasma, whatever. But the games they're associated with usually have some gimmick to, like, some aspect to them that will lock it in. So for me, it was, I thought real-ass video game guns were lame as shit until the day that I was playing Bad Company 2.
Mules.
Battlefield Bad Company 2, and I picked a sniper rifle and fired at some guy, and because of bullet drop, I had to fire like
vehicles and drones.
half the screen above where the dude was, and I had and I got a headshot.
No reason for
and I was like,
to take off.
People and then I'm like, okay, maybe real guns can have some cool stuff.
After some consideration, we put it back in.
And it happened the one time, and I've been trying to recreate it ever since.
Snapshot
snowball.
Yeah.
Now we got
that's a
crazies get all hijacking shipments.
Well, I mean, look, if the theme of Wooly's 2020 gaming career is challenging assumptions, like, I have to be real in that, like, those games are the realistic guns are the thing that, like, I kind of, never gave a fair shake out of disinterest, So, like, I'm definitely in the process of learning that, like, that is a thing that I might be convinced otherwise on, because feeling is believing. You know?
Bridges ID.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Clear. All weapons.
Did you just think that up?
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. Feeling is believing.
All clear. Welcome.
Seeing it enough.
Border Bridges.
What'd you do?
All right, so there's 3 games I want to talk about. Okay, let me go hit my live RV. And actually, no, shit, 4 games. Jesus, Lord. Okay. One is Devolverland Expo. Did you play that?
No, is that something that came out with the show?
Did you watch?
I watched. No, I just saw the announcements afterwards.
Okay, so the Devolver thing was about how everyone stole Devolver's idea to steal the idea of lives from Nintendo.
Someone's happy.
So fuck them and fuck that. We gotta go next level. And in the middle of the fucking thing,
Time to get that chiral printer in working order. Sorry to push you through so much trouble, but trust me, it'll be worth it. Excellent. The unit doesn't have a scratch on it. Never doubted you'd come through for us.
Sam, how are your shoes holding up? Not too well, I imagine. Condition. Nothing ruins your day like shoes falling apart while you're on the job. Carry on like that and it's only a matter. I've arranged for boots to be Bridges standard issue, so you should always carry it, but... Good work, Sam. It seems your connection level is increasing. As your connection level increases, larger quantities of resources will be made available to you at our facilities.
See you around.
Congratulations, Sam. I understand you now have access to a chiral printer. An extraordinarily useful device that can only function because of the manner in which our network utilizes the beach, enabling us to transfer massive volumes of data instantaneously. Since under normal circumstances, such transfers would take hours, if not days, some have speculated that the chiral network might, in essence, be a time machine. That it is transmitting data into the past. Suffice it to say, we have yet to fully grasp the fundamental nature of the network and the beach which we have come to rely upon. One might liken our relationship with it to that of primitive mans with fire. Is it useful? Quite. Is it dangerous? Undeniably so. Nevertheless, we have decided that the reward outweighs the risk. Furthermore, as the BTs are linked to the beach, it stands to reason that further study and experimentation could be of considerable benefit. The same could be said regarding you, of course. Rest assured, I will keep you apprised of what I learn. You have my word.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery.
Well, thanks. You did me a real favor there.
Thank you for your contribution.
Sam, the area around that distro symbol. That thing you're holding is a crystal collector. Now, as the name suggests, it provides secure storage for any crystals you gather.
Allow me to describe your quarry. Chiral crystals appear gold to the naked eye and are frequently found in formations resembling human handprints. Surrounding rocks and debris tend to float a few feet above the ground. And they are most commonly found in areas with high precipitation. Got all that? Rain, floating rocks, golden handprints. That's your trifecta. Look for these three things and you'll find the crystals. If you've been especially observant, then perhaps you already know where to look.
Thank you for your contribution. Keep on keeping on. Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey. Weapons restrictions lifted.
Sam, chiral crystals are pretty small and can be difficult to spot with the naked eye. I'd advise you to use your ultradeck to point you in the right direction. If you want to survey a wider area, though, you might consider building a watchtower and relying on its sensors.
Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID.
Sam, chiral crystal deliveries are a little different from the usual. The process is pretty simple, though. Access the delivery terminal to drop off any chiral crystals you're carrying.
Keeping on.
Got some chiral crystals for us? These crystals only form in places with elevated chiralium levels, which makes me wonder if expanding the network had something to do with it. Not a bad haul. Plenty enough for research. We'll take good care of it.
Excess chiral crystals can be deposited at any facility. These low...
Oh, before I forget. This is for you.
That's container repair spray for patching up cargo containers. Good for dealing with timefall degradation and all that. Useful stuff if you and your cargo have been through the ringer. We've added it to your supplies list, so it's readily available if and when you need it.
There is a correlation between elevated Corellium levels. This means you needn't worry though. Local chiral density. If you find any more, be sure.
If you come into more chiral crystal, and every...
Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
Sam, got a new order for you. Another delivery to make and a knot to link up. Check the terminal when you have a moment.
Today's a good day. This one's for you. Oh, it was about to drop.